Good morning. I'm Tina Laster and you're at Laster Farm. Today we're going to be planting potatoes. It is the 1st of March and I know it seems a little early, but some people have already in our area started planting in February. I know our frost date is usually around the last of April, 1st of May, our last frost. So with that being said, after planting these today, we're going to cover them with some plastic and just kind of give them that extra protection, because I know once they start coming up out of the ground, the green leaves are going to be, subject to being frost burned. So anyway, today we're going to till up this bed, and I have a few potatoes that have already turned to putting the eyes out on them, and I thought, well, I'll just bring those out and we'll just plant those and put those in the ground and just see what they're gonna make. First, I'm gonna till this up with this little handy dandy little contraption right here, and then I'm gonna get some sawdust, and I am gonna sprinkle some of that in too, because potatoes really do well in a looser like soil with some sawdust. Sweet potatoes, my daddy used to just grow his sweet potatoes or his sweet potato slips. He'd always start them out and just plain sawdust. So, and I know when I was a little girl, Mom and them had a small little greenhouse that they had made, and just made it out of some rough cut lumber and just covered in plastic. And I went out there and I planted me a row of peach seeds right in just the middle of that bed inside that greenhouse, and every one of those little trees came up, and I mean they were like 2 or 3 foot tall inside that greenhouse. And then they took them out and planted them, and I just didn't want them to move my peach trees. I was really little, and I got upset because they were moving my peach trees that I had planted the seeds for. Well, this kind of broke up the soil a little bit, and it still has some little sticks and hay in there. And I'm gonna go over here and I'm gonna get the sawdust. I went and I scooped up the sawdust and I put it on top of the bed, and I'm gonna turn it back in. See if I can turn it a little bit with this. I actually don't think this is gonna do it. So let's try something a little different. Let's try the shovel and just see if we can turn some of it. Oh yeah, there's a fee fine. I watch a YouTuber that lives in Alaska, and he is experimenting with growing potatoes on top of the ground, just laying them down, covering them with hay or with leaves or whatever, and keeping them moist. You think they would rot, but his has started sprouting really good, and we will see. I'll keep you updated and see how his are turning out. Now usually I grow potatoes in the ground, and I feel like that I don't get a bigger yield is what I would get if I was growing it in these raised beds, because the soil is so much better, the soil is so much looser, and you have to amend the soil so much around here. I mean, we have good soil and it does grow, but to me, it doesn't produce like I think it should, because I mean, it really hasn't had a garden here in a long time. We used to have the whole horse pasture and garden. We would have at least an acre garden out here, and well, I say an acre, anywhere from 3/4 to an acre. We would have every year when we first moved on this property, and then all this was woods over here, and we didn't, you know, do anything much down here, but it was such a pretty garden. I mean, we had long rows from here up the hill, and they were so pretty, but it was a lot of garden to maintain, to get out there and to till it, and it wasn't a no-till garden, you know, get out there and chop it and hoe it. But these have been so much easier, you know, the last several years that we've done raised beds. And with potatoes, now I've grown potatoes in the raised beds. Last year I did sweet potatoes. No, it wasn't last year, it was the year before last. We did the sweet potatoes, and we did a little bit of the red russet potatoes, but I didn't do a whole lot. But they did okay. They probably, for one vine, I probably got 25 potatoes off of each vine, and I thought that was great. We are going to, okay, I'm going to dig a trench down this side and probably do one down that side, because I may plant something else in the center. Then again, I may have to, I'm just going to plant, I'm going to just dig a trench down this side and see what we can get planted. Get some of this over here. Now, I have a few of these, and then I have a few of the white potatoes. So I don't have it like 7 of these, so I'm gonna just pile them up right here, and we're gonna plant a row of these white potatoes. Let's see. Some of them have really gotten, they're shriveled up, but they've gotten a lot of eyes on them. And with this sawdust, you don't really have to cover them, you know, just lightly. I'm gonna put these about, I don't know, hand space apart, because I want to see how much yield I can get out of this bed. And I'm not cutting them up in little chunks. I'm just gonna put the whole potatoes in here, because I have noticed in the past that when I put the whole potatoes instead of the chunks, it don't take nearly as long for that potato plant to grow and to bed up underneath and make a good sized ball of potatoes. Now, a lot of times when you do the little chunks, if they're not big enough, they won't make as many potatoes because they don't have time. And that's one reason why I'm trying to plant these a little early, is because the year before last, it seems like I didn't have a lot of time for them to make I could have left them in the ground a little bit longer, probably, you know, a couple of weeks longer. So we got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. 15 in this row. I'll tell you what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna just go ahead and plant another one right down the center, I think. And that way I can put the red ones either on one end, or may not even put them in here at all. I may put them in a grow bag or something. And spread them apart this way just a little bit. So, and this is mounded up pretty good. I realize that, but I think that it'll do just fine, because it will sink back down with the rain. Okay. And I'm not, like I said, I'm not planting them very deep. About a hand space apart. Okay. And let's see, let's get on this side and let's do another bed right down here. Better eyes on it. This one. Okay, that's all I have of the white potatoes. I'll just come on down with these red ones the rest of the way. And I guess I really should, I'm always tempted to cut these up, you know, and move them further down. A lot of eyes on it. I think what I'll do is I'll leave my little shovel right here, and I'll get me some more potatoes and plant to finish that bed out. But that's, you know, even if every potato that I plant makes a few back, that still, I think it will double what I'm putting in the ground. And you know, it would, off of this size of bed, it would be good to get, you know, at least 20 pounds. That would be great. Now if it's more, that's even better, but we'll see. We'll just see what it's gonna do. This is a good size bed, but will it feed our family for the year, for 1 year? No. So we definitely need to try to either get more potatoes if that's what we want to do. I mean, I would love for these potatoes to be, you know, the little small whole ones, so I could can those up. I'm excited to see what this bed is going to do with the sawdust in it, with the horse manure, and with the hay. That's all this soil is broken down manure, horse and donkey manure. And with the hay breaking down and with the sawdust in it, let's just see what this bed is going to produce. Now, it could be a failure, but after last year, our garden just on tomatoes and peppers and the things that we had growing, we could not, we had so much squash, zucchini, we had so much. So this year I just had like a half a bed of zucchini, and it produced so much zucchini just off of a few plants. So this year I really am going to cut back, I think, on the squash, but I might make more zucchini chips, dehydrated, chips. Might do that. Okay, well, let's make some contact with the soil. Just pat it down. Make sure the potatoes have good contact. And this soil is wet because it rained last night. So, I won't really have to water today. And once these get, in the ground and get established, I really don't think that I'll have to water them too much, except for, in July and August when it's really, really hot. Today, the temperature out here, it's a little cool. It's too wet to be working on our chicken coop. And finishing it up. So, and I have the clear plastic that I'm going to put over this side. I may eventually get some PVC pipe and stretch over the top and make like a little hoop, get some bricks and put down over my plastic to kind of help hold it down after I get it on. So instead of making the hoops right now, because I don't have to worry about the plants right now get squished or anything since they're not up out of the ground yet. We'll be keeping an eye on this bed, and I'll be keeping you up to date on how these are coming up. And I can't wait to see those little sprouts popping up out of the soil. I think that would be so neat to get our first potatoes this year started. I thank you so much for coming along with me today here at Laster Farm and just getting a little bit done, a little each day on our garden. It's so exciting to see everything that's coming together around here, and I just can't wait to share it with you. God bless you. Until next time, we'll see you back here at Laster Farm. Bye.